Mm-hmm. All right, all right. It looks like we are on. Hi guys, how you guys doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Everybody's doing well. I'm glad you guys are back. I know we skipped a week last week unexpectedly, and I do apologize for that. And I also, especially for those who were looking for us in the Facebook world, but we are back, and we're back on our 2-week rotation, and we're happy to see everybody. So for those of you who are just tuning in to us on the first time and wondering like, well, who is she and what is she talking about? We are Wind Down Readers. We are a virtual book club presented by Pt.2 Events. I am the owner of Pt.2 Events, and we are going to take you on a literal roller coaster. And the great thing about our book club is that number one, it's virtual, and number two, we have been blessed with the opportunity of every meeting that we've had to have the authors join in on the conversation. And for those of you who are new and just visiting us for the first time, we hope that you have read the book. If not, hope you purchased the book. But we will try to keep the conversation as transparent as possible so everyone can participate. So having said that, also would I like to say that you can visit us on Instagram. Also on Instagram, we are Wind Down Readers. We have a YouTube page if you want to go back and look at our previous virtual book reviews. And I would like to go ahead and introduce our wonderful panel of readers. We will be discussing Something New, Something Blue, Something New, the final book of the Something About Love series by Marlee Ray. And tonight we broke it up into 2 parts. We'll be discussing chapters 9 through 17. All right. So first, I would like to introduce our panel. I'm going to introduce our long distance folks first. I like to do that, then bring in our DMVers. We have Miss Pat from FLA. Hi, Miss Pat. We have Deborah King all the way from Chi-Town, Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Deborah. And we have Marlee Ray from St. Louis.
Hi.
We have one of our popular commenters and also readers, Miss Gloria Johnson. This is her first
Hi.
joining
Hi,
us.
Gloria.
We actually have 2 Gloria Johnsons if you've been watching us. Oh, hi, Deborah. All right. And Gloria comes from the DMV area, and I'm going to shout out our rest of our DMVers. We have Barbara, Miss Barbara.
Hello.
Chevelle.
Hi.
Stephanie.
Hi.
All right. And of course, I reside in the DMV area too. So I'm Mel. Did I say your name? Why do I feel? I think it's because I have Mel and Shamel. We have Melanie down there, our creative one. Okay. And so let's get started. So Something Blue and Something New. It's part 2. And again, the book takes place in the good old St. Louis. I'm starting to really like St. Louis after reading all of these books.
I know, right?
Go.
Yeah.
Want to go now, right? So to give you a brief description of the book, so it is what happens when a perfect woman meets an imperfect man. Janae has her world in the palms of her hands, enjoying life. She's beautiful, has a great career, a loving family, and loyal friends. The only thing missing is true love filled with the passion she desires. Calvin is a handsome, arrogant, and entitled, all of which he uses as a facade to cover his not so happy life. When he enters Janae's world, she's tasked with guiding him to becoming a new man or leaving him alone in misery. Voyage with Janae as she encounters the blue side of Calvin and the new side of Calvin. All right. So you guys know how we traditionally do it. Let me get my Facebook family back on. I want to say hello to them. and see how they are doing. Let's see here. Hi, Facebook. All right, who do we have in the house with us so far? So far we have Stephanie L. Harris. Hi, Nene. So you guys know how we traditionally. Sorry about that. Did not know that was and we have what is this? Latoya Younger. All right, we have our Kendra Jenkins. Of course, unfortunately, Kendra and Nene couldn't be with us tonight, as well as Alex, those of you who have been following us, and as well as Wanda. So hopefully they'll be joining us next during our next book review. And who else do we have up here? So hi, guys. Guys, make sure you shout out your drinks. You know, traditionally we shout out our drinks before we get to our discussion. So I'm going to get Facebook. Go ahead and get prepared to type in what you're drinking on. And I'm going to start with our panelists. So Stephanie, what are you sipping on?
I am sipping on, you like this blue?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is Calypso Colada. It's a wine cooler. I love this.
Oh, it looks so good. It almost looks,
It's a pretty blue.
neon almost.
That's nice.
Thinking I'm in the islands, guys.
You
Where
know
we need to
what?
be.
Yeah, exactly. I like
I got
that.
a vision.
All right.
I got a vision.
You got a vision. You know,
Got a
mind
vision.
over matter.
Mhm.
Okay. Shamel, what you drinking on?
I'm drinking on some water for now, but I'm going.
Okay,
back
so
and
you're
forth.
Jay tonight. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing
Okay.
water.
I'll let you have it. All right. Miss Barbara, what are you drinking on, darling?
My normals. Stella Rose Black.
Stella Rose.
Black.
All right. Miss Glow Joe. I'm going to call her Glow Joe just in case Glory logs in.
I have Stella Rosa Green Apple.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
going to have to write Stella Rose. Okay. Miss Pat. I think I'm going to have to write them. We're giving all these
I'm back
shout-outs.
with my
Ooh.
rosé sangria again tonight.
Go, Miss Pat. I had mine
Miss Pat.
Friday.
You know what? That stuff has a little bit too much kick for me.
It had some kick.
So,
Really?
yes, it
Yes,
does.
it's good.
It's good.
Melody.
I am drinking, I think it's called the San Antonio Sweet Red. It's the Cardinal, I think it is.
Okay.
Pretty.
Oh, that's good, Mel. I like that.
Isn't that good? Isn't that
It's very
good?
good. Yeah.
Some good stuff right there. Yeah.
All right. And Marlee Ray.
I see. This week I have watermelon wine this week again.
Oh, okay.
And look at those beautiful nails.
They're always beautiful.
Thank you.
Girl, you know what? You shut the game down. She shuts the game down. And our Miss Deborah King, darling, what are you sipping on tonight?
She's on mute.
Deborah's on mute.
She's
Can
on
you
mute.
hear us, Deborah?
Oh, Deborah, can you hear us okay?
I'm
He's
gonna
muted.
unmute. Let me see.
Okay. Well, we're gonna
Let's see.
let's see.
Can you
Maybe
hear
a
us,
delay. But okay.
Yeah, I don't think Deborah can hear us.
Oh, she's
She had
talking.
to
Now,
mute on.
now she can hear it. Now she
Can
turned
you
her mute on.
unmute her?
I'm trying
He's
to.
I think you muted.
Okay,
Bless her.
where did she go?
She's Deborah.
Wait a minute.
I think maybe it was a click on, click off.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, you know, with this technology where we gonna wait for her and get on.
I can
We gotta
hear
find
you.
out what she's
There she
Okay,
goes.
there
she's
you go.
on mute now.
Okay.
what you sipping on, girly?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mhm.
Good. I have a cup that holds an entire bottle of wine.
I knew I was gonna like her. Okay.
That's my kind of woman.
My kind of girl. Deborah. Go ahead on, Deborah. All right.
I am sipping on a cup that holds an entire bottle of wine.
Mhm.
All right now.
Gonna beat
How many
that.
cups has this been?
You know what? My stomach has been in knots today, so just to be on the safe side, I'm representing Jay and Shamel too. I'm on the boring water team,
Yeah.
and not because I want to be. All right, so let me see what our Facebook family is drinking. Let me see here. All right, what are you guys sipping on? So Stephanie Gordon Thurman, I'm doing blackberry Moscato. And Kendra Jenkins, Stella in the house. All right. All right.
Stella
And, oh my
Rose.
God.
Stella Rose.
Deborah, you have a fan club. They are cracking up over you and your whole cup. Your whole cup of wine. All right. All right. So let's get to the meat. Now, I wanted to start with this. This last part, I was totally, whoa, Marlee Ray, okay? That's all I can say. I did want to start with the fact that we ended the last show with keeping in mind the conversation Calvin has with his therapist. So I wanted to open up and start with you, Marlee Ray. And
Okay.
what exactly, because I think I missed it. I know it was a clue to catch. And I read the book twice, girl, and either I know it and it just didn't click. But before you say anything, does anybody want to take a stab at it? I want to see if somebody catches it. So when we ended on part 1, which ended at chapter 8, Marlee Ray said, keep in mind the conversations Calvin had, my screen is giving me a warning. Keep in mind the conversations that Calvin has with his therapist. Okay.
Okay.
So Marlee Ray, you want to go ahead and expound on what you meant by that?
So that was a clue from the first part of the book to let you know kind of what happened. Do you remember when he had, I guess it was maybe the first conversation he had with his therapist, and before the conversation ended, she says, I already know who you're going to ask me about, and I can't talk to you about it. And she went on to tell him that, it was confidential because she said she was seeing an actual therapist. But she didn't disclose that was the daughter at that time. But but you didn't mention it. He didn't mention, you didn't know at that point. You didn't find out
you
the
didn't
daughter
catch
until
that.
later. Yeah.
Right.
Wow, good clue dropper. Okay.
I thought he was
like
talking
that.
about the mother.
Oh,
I
you
thought it was the mother.
Was therapy? Okay.
Yes, that he had that doctor talking to his mother because we didn't know about the daughter. So, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. That's a good guess. Yeah.
No, he knew about the daughter. Her mother did.
Right.
His mother did.
Yeah. Okay, that was pretty. You got me on that one because I tell you, totally went over my head, and I was trying to find it. But tonight, I want to start with an issue that we some of us can relate to, some of us can't. But I just wanted to bring it up because I know it happens in relationships all the time. Is an issue to be unequally yoked with regards to education, an issue in relationships. So basically, is it an issue in relationships to be unequally yoked academically? And chapter before 13, I want to say in the first 2 chapters, they talked about how Calvin felt a little insecure about Janae's education because she had 3 degrees on him. And it posed a little issue. He felt a little insecure about that. But you have to keep in mind, Calvin has a different sort of, even though his education came from life, he kind of jumped into the adulthood world of being having a job as an actor early. So what do you guys think about that in regards to relationships? Do you think that's an issue in relationships when two people are unequally yoked?
It's an issue if you want it to be an issue. But I
Yeah.
mean,
It can be an issue.
it can be an issue, but it's an issue only if you want it to be an issue.
I think it's more of an
Okay.
issue, not say, for instance, in Calvin's situation. I don't think his friends made it more of an issue. He made it an issue
Right.
himself. So
Right.
I think
Right.
that's what happens in situations is
Right.
that your surroundings, because he had a career. He had a successful
Right.
career as a child. He has a career now that
Right.
and he makes just as much money, I'm assuming, as his
Yeah.
counterparts, but
Yes.
just doesn't have the degree. And
Yeah.
they're not thinking about that. He brings
No.
that on himself. And I
Yeah.
think in real life, I think that still happens also.
It
It's
does.
like
Yep.
I know friends in my age group who are very successful. They don't
Yeah.
have degrees.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, my
Yeah.
girlfriends, my close girlfriends all have degrees up on me,
Yeah.
but I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't. And I think we just bring that on ourselves.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I think we do create issues in our relationships on ourselves when it comes to that. Yes, Miss Pat.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's more of a man's perspective of being seen as less than a woman's perspective because, in times past, women may have had degrees, but they just stayed home and took care of the kids.
Yeah.
And they always looked to the man to be the one who brought the money in and maybe to have the higher education.
Yep.
So I kind of think, and if it was Janae that had less of an education, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Mhm.
That's true.
So-
That is true. But I'm
So
going to
Jen-
tell you, I would have, if he was bringing home the money, he didn't have to have a high school diploma.
You know that's right, Steph. You know that's right. It's all about the
listen.
papers, baby. It's all about the papers, right?
Listen,
Because basically, that's what our degrees are supposed to do for us,
Right.
is to
Right.
get us the income.
Advance your
Yes.
income. Right.
It's no reason to be highly degreed and poor.
Yeah.
Right.
well, in our case,
No
my
business
husband,
in that.
my
Yeah.
husband has a law degree. And then I'm always around lawyers and, all these muckety mucks. But who brings home the cash?
Oh, Miss Pat.
Mama, there you go, Pat. Mama.
It doesn't bother me one bit. Because when
Right.
I look at my bank account, that's all I'm thinking about.
Right.
Oh,
So
Right.
Calvin is the one who made it an issue. So
Yeah.
Keisha, to answer
He
your
made it.
question, if a person makes it an issue, it's an issue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it really
If
shouldn't be an
person
issue.
it shouldn't be. Okay, I'm gonna see what our Facebook family thinks. All right, here we go. Stephanie Gorman Thurman said, exactly, Mel. It's totally being insecure. Stephanie Harris said, if the other person is insecure. Latoya Younger, I think men have more of an issue when women are more educated than vice versa. She agrees
Yeah.
with you, Miss Pat.
Mhm.
All right, and Kendra Jenkins said 80% most are educated and broke. She tried to say
Yeah. Mhm.
Bro.
Kendra is a mess. Kendra is a mess. Okay, I'm gonna switch gears here. We talked about education. All right, I'm gonna dig a little deeper. What about sexually?
What
Well,
about
who was unequally yoked sexually? Who was it?
Okay, so you remember in chapter 9,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Yeah.
it opened up after the go down. I'm gonna just say that. I ain't gonna give too much of the book away.
Right.
And Calvin was how can I say, hungry.
Yes.
And they had she was on her tank was on E.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it just sparked a question in me to say I've heard people, quote unquote, say that, sometimes that's an issue in relationships. And I never really thought about it until I saw that in this book. I read that part in this book. What do you guys think about that? If someone has an unequal sex drive, does that cause major
okay.
problems in the relationships?
Oh,
So
Yeah.
that's the difference.
Mm.
Sex drive
Yeah.
as
so you
opposed
mean
to unequally
as
yoked.
opposed to performance? You mean
Right.
sex
I
drive
was
as
thinking
opposed-
performance.
Performance,
Right.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
they both
Well,
could
yes.
perform. That was
Yeah.
not a
Both
problem.
Right.
are a problem. Right.
But her situation was
Thank you, ma'am. I was
she
gonna
was
Both
say
are a
tired.
problem.
That's
It don't.
talked
Both
about.
are a problem.
I agree.
Both are a problem.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Performance and drive.
Yeah. Both are a problem.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
So,
normally in relationships, the sex drive is unequally yoked because let's think about it. Men have a drive that is totally physical most of the time,
I
and
agree.
women are more emotional.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
if my washing machine breaks down and I got water all over the laundry room floor and I couldn't get it fixed, when I go to bed, I'm going to be thinking about, oh my God, how am I supposed to do my laundry and whatnot? And he's going to be, he'd be like, what difference does it make? Come here, take off your clothes, let's just go for this. And I'm like, I can't even focus. So in those situations, men and women are unequally yoked when it comes down to drive because our emotions can be the driver of our drive.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
men,
on a norm,
Right.
on a norm, it's a problem. So it,
Right.
a man could be just as agitated and not wanting sex if he's worried too.
that it don't happen
So-
that
That's true.
often. It don't
And
happen.
no, it
And
happens.
it's true. It's true.
It happens.
It happens, but I don't think it happens as much. It really
Maybe
doesn't
not as
happen
much, but it happens.
It doesn't
so
happen
on a
as
norm,
not as much.
Keisha, it's a problem.
on a
Well,
norm.
in the early stages of a relationship, everybody's giving it their all because that's,
right. Right.
hey, listen, if you can't perform, you're not going too far in this relationship. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
You got to make sure you're knocking somebody's socks off.
It ain't going nowhere.
It's going nowhere. You got to do that up front. Now, later
Right.
on, you can
Yeah.
start taking sleeping
Right.
pills at night.
Right.
Wake up.
And worrying about the washing machine. You don't have that luxury at the beginning. You can't worry about the washing machine.
It's true.
Don't
Now,
have that
I will
luxury
say
worry about the washing
this,
machine.
but is that
Now,
I
I'm
will
going to
say
tell
this.
you where it would be a problem.
um,
If he couldn't get my washing machine fixed, I can't perform. There it is. There it is. Boom. There it is. Boom. It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Right?
okay, I think
Pay the repairman, right? He
Right.
got free and he can't pay the repairman. He got to go.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Right. We're gonna wrap that up. Right.
now I'm
You
gonna
better know how to fix
I'm gonna
it,
give
or he better know how to get a repairman. I don't know what to do. That's it.
Mel said you gotta pick a
Again.
role, huh?
Again, right. Again, on the norm, it's a problem. Because if he can't fix it, or he can't have nobody to fix it, it's a problem.
It's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
We not going nowhere. We
We can put him
nowhere.
inside the washing
I
machine.
mean, I can't have no man and I'm worried about a washing machine. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Mel, we love
There it
Mel.
is.
Okay, I'm gonna just
All right,
say
there it is.
I'm
Boom.
gonna go to our Facebook.
Right. So we know what
Facebook
Mel's
family.
love language is.
Right. And you know it. It's an acts of service. Right.
Let's
It's
see.
a
acts
deal
of
breaker.
service.
When she talks,
Okay, it looks like the
You can't be with
Facebook
me.
has taken on another topic that Miss Kendra had brought up. Okay.
What they
So I'm gonna
say.
switch gears if y'all see. She said so. We are not gonna y'all about the sea buckthorn oil. Okay, but she's talking about the oil.
Oh, okay. So I guess I gotta answer that, huh?
You're gonna have
What'd
to
she
answer
say?
that one, and then of course everybody is now commenting about the oil. Let me see if I can find a comment regarding what the topic here. We're gonna talk about the oil though. Kendra Jenkins said, I don't know a man like that. Maybe a mammal man, but a human, I don't think so. She is JS, men are putting on a show in the beginning, okay? Latoya
Right.
Younger, but Miss Pat, when he can't keep that same energy down the road, the relationship, then what? Okay, that's a good point. And then let's see, Kendra Jenkins, but did she say she liked work ethic over gifts? Okay. All right. And who Deborah Davis said she's pleading the fifth. So looks like we're all on the same page with that. I do want to talk about this oil. Marlee Ray, you're gonna have to take this subject over because I can't. Go ahead, girl.
What about the
You
oil?
wrote it.
What oil?
You wrote it, so you discuss it.
The sea berry oil. The sea berry oil was mentioned.
Oh, the sea berry oil.
Yes,
Okay.
the sea berry
Okay.
oil. Okay, so Calvin asked Janae about lubrication, and he mentioned, and she told him that she takes this sea berry oil. Yes, the sea berry oil is definitely is true. It's something
real
that
thing.
Yes, it's a real thing. Absolutely.
I wrote it down. I said,
yeah.
Ma'am, thank you for jumping the plank because I wrote it down too, girl. I was like,
Somebody in the group ordered it.
S-E-A.
Yeah.
Who ordered it?
Yeah.
Somebody ordered it.
Somebody on somebody, you can get it from Amazon. Yeah, definitely. I can send you the link.
It wasn't me, but I know.
Oh, okay.
And I love how you add little perks for women over 40 because that's a women over 40 perk. And
it's a major thing when you're 40. And when you're over 40, it's major.
Yeah. That oil works wonders. So you want to get you some of that oil.
Well, does the oil, you take it orally?
Yes.
That's a good question because she didn't. Okay.
Yeah, it's the oral taking
okay.
oil. Yeah,
It's like right. It's a vitamin. Yeah, it's like a vitamin. It's a natural sea berry oil, and it provides it's good for the skin, good for the hair, all of it. It's just a complete lubrication for the entire.
Look at Deborah King.
Deborah gonna have to get her another cup of wine.
Yes, it works. I swear by it. I can send you all the link because it's a specific brand that I use. So all of them work.
Well, yeah, go ahead and send it in case I know somebody that needs it.
Okay.
We take people. I ain't asking for me. I'm asking for a friend.
For me.
I'm asking for a friend.
But just in case, I like to help people out. Pay it forward.
You know it. You know it.
Next question we have, I want to talk about, and I just want to talk about, in chapter 12-ish, really 13-ish, but kind of the tail end of 12-ish, we get hit with that family meeting. Y'all, okay. So, but I want to, for those who have not read the book, I do want to hit a little bit of pieces, but those who have not read the book, just briefly, Calvin finds out, let's just say, not to give too much of the book away, some family secrets on his side that he was holding as well as his mother was holding. And it was, it seemed like an intervention, but it turned into an explosion.
Yeah.
And I didn't know whose side to get on at first. At first, I was like, Calvin, you a little rough. But then I was like, Mom, you kind of shady. You can't, so I don't know. But I wanted to talk about the dynamics of, and Steph, you had mentioned a few book reviews back when we were talking about keeping certain revealing things to children. Now, I know that's a different topic, but this kind of shows a little bit of maybe the after effects of secrets. What did you guys think about that? And you know what? I'm going to start with some Gloria. I know it's her first time. Gloria Johnson. I know it's her first time on the chat. So I'm going to give you the mic first. What was your take on the family meeting? And you can personalize it, not personalize it, or what you think?
Oh, I'm like Deborah King. I'm quiet. But first of all, I like to say that I was totally blindsided by that whole family meeting. I was like, oh my gosh. When like, all of the secrets were revealed and when he found out, what really was going on, I just was like, oh my gosh, like all this time this man has been walking around with so much animosity and stuff. And like it's been there all this time.
Right.
Like without the, of course, I mean, I don't want to say who, like you say, giving so much of the book away.
Yeah, you guys have to get the book Facebook to find out. We're gonna keep this one a little secret.
Yeah.
This
So
the book.
but to know that it was like smack dead in your face, I feel like, he had the right to be so upset. You find out why he is so angry, the backstory of why he's so angry with his mother. Even before, like, he finds out the secret, but all of the stuff that she had been doing over the
leading
years,
up to it,
you kind of find out like why he, is kind of just so messed up. That was my take on it.
Well, to go back to Keisha, since you brought this up about when I said before about keeping things away from children. So I still stand on the grounds of something not to be told.
Of course she does.
But,
of course she does.
Quiet, washing machine lady, just be quiet. But when it comes down to like the context that we had talked about it before had to do with telling kids when there was infidelity and relationships or whatnot. But in certain situations where there's evidence and there's tangible items and things that you can actually touch and put your hands on and causing issues, then some of those things may need to be revealed so that people can heal properly. But to know or to find out that I had a relationship with ex-wife,
that don't help. Yeah, that don't help.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Nobody has any evidence of that, so I don't need to share. You know what I mean? There's no evidence.
Yeah, that ain't gonna help nobody. It ain't gonna help nobody.
Nobody. It ain't
I understand.
Nobody.
That's
so.
Okay, so Steph, if you can find out about it, then that's when you need to know. But if you can't find out about it, you don't need to worry.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry. Yeah.
Even if you find out about it, if it ain't had no chain reactions to it, then you still don't need to know.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
She is certainly Mary's niece. Mary told me one time, something's only you and the Lord need to know. I said, okay.
Absolutely.
And those two
That's
are
the
watching.
truth.
Mary is
something's only you and the Lord need to know.
That's right. Because it ain't nobody's business.
Ain't nobody's business.
Jesus.
Right. Ain't nobody's business.
But when Moses and David and the rest of them are involved, and then it got to be, you have to share some of that information that you and Jesus talked about, or that you and Jesus know about. You have to share. And because in certain situations, like in this one, it caused some major problems. And there were other folk involved, and it really impacted, and it was nothing.
Ripple.
And therapy wasn't going to help.
Yeah.
So in that situation, so that's my clarity. But if it don't hurt you,
if it ain't none of your business, it ain't none of your business.
Take it to your grave.
You do. Okay, I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to you, Shamel, and then I'm gonna check our Facebook group. But I do want to put in this disclaimer: I'm using a device that I did not plan to use. So if I go out, I'm coming right back. So you guys just keep the power going. Hey, Gloria, I see you popped in. Welcome to the crew, girl.
Hi.
Hello. Hey,
so you go ahead, Shamel, and then I'm gonna hit the Facebook.
I just think sometimes it's the timing. If the timing is right, you just can't just automatically share secrets. It's just something has to lead up to it, and then the conversation happens. I just think it's all about timing.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't hurt nobody, don't tell. Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell.
Don't tell.
Okay, so don't tell
Ain't none of your
nobody.
business.
Kendra Jenkins, she said, yes, parents have to be careful how you parent because they will be in therapy their entire adulthood. Ain't nobody got, okay, let me see, time for that. Stephanie Harris said, that's how our grandparents' generation handled things.
Yeah.
They felt it was no one's business. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good perspective. Stephanie Gordon Thurman said, some things you have to take to the grave.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom.
Deborah Davis.
Little Mary.
Unless
Right, little Mary.
Take it all.
Deborah Davis. Unless there are two human beings as evidence.
All right, Stephanie.
Right. And so, yes, and I want to
I'm
make sure
going to the
Gloria
cemetery
time
with a
we
tape recorder.
I know, right? I know,
I'm going
right?
to the cemetery. I'm gonna see how many secrets are in
Can
there.
I say something?
Definitely. Go right
I want to
ahead.
say something. I hate Calvin.
You hate Calvin. You still hate Calvin.
I hate Calvin.
You hated him the last time.
No.
You didn't hate him the
hated-
last time.
I'm gonna
No.
switch screens, but you keep going. Miss
I
Pat and
hated,
Mel, you keep going. Switch screens.
Wait a minute, Ray. Who did I hate? I hated the best friend.
Yeah, she hates Dre.
I hate Dre. I hate Calvin
I
too.
know you hated him.
I don't know who I hate the most.
You didn't
I don't know
hate
who I
Calvin?
hate the most. I hate Calvin. I
Why?
hate Calvin. I don't know. I just don't like him. I mean, I'm like, everyone. I don't know. Everybody got problems, but damn. It's like, I'm like, it was always something with this cat.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I don't know why. I'm like, Janae, just after the whole family debacle, I was like, you're staying? You're staying? I can't believe she's even staying. I was like, she's a nut. She's a nut. I'm like, get out. It's going down from there. I don't know why anybody would stay. It's just,
But what
It's
if
love,
the roles
Mel.
was
It was love.
reversed? What
He
if
was
the
too
roles were
clingy. He's
reversed?
too clingy. He's needy. I don't like the
That's the
neediness.
same way
He
with
just need a
women.
hug.
he
What?
worked my nerves.
Needed a hug.
Although
He needs
I
a
will
big hug.
say,
Too much.
I will say in the end, Calvin seemed to be better. But for me, I would think, yeah, how long that's gonna last? Because all of his formative years is about his wacko family, and I'm just like, I don't know where to go from there. I loved her ex-boyfriend, loved him. That's my man.
Oh no.
That was my man, right?
Mel
I
is
love the
crazy.
That was a
ex-boyfriend.
Mel is
monster.
crazy.
Mel is nutty. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Mel
That was
is
a
Crazy
nutty.
monster.
ex-boyfriend commanded the room.
He
Oh,
broke in our
Stalker.
house.
Yeah.
Stalker.
Oh, whatever.
Right,
Calvin is a
stalker.
crybaby. Crybaby.
He was too
He was
controlling.
manipulative. He was
Uh,
controlling.
He was
Very
controlling that
Yeah,
first
Yeah.
he was controlling, but I mean, whatever. Calvin's a crybaby.
Like Calvin at the end.
I liked him through the whole thing. I just think he had issues. Who don't
Who
have
liked
issues?
him through the whole thing?
But the
Yeah.
family meeting
Who
is
liked
what
him through the
helped.
whole thing? I want to know who said that.
All right, Shamel, tell you, you said it.
Jamel, you cannot have possibly liked him through the whole thing.
Well, at first it started out, I was like, he's too clingy. He got issues.
Plus,
But
he
then I'm
was a
like, well,
jerk.
who doesn't have issues, Mel?
He
Who
was
doesn't
a
have
jerk.
issues?
Oh my God, he was a jerk at the beginning.
You know what?
Oh my God, he wasn't.
Melody. With this,
Uh-huh.
you know what? Melody apparently has had a Calvin in her
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
No, well, maybe I have. Maybe I have. I don't know. But I hate him.
This hate is deep.
Yeah.
For
No,
Calvin is
no.
very deep.
I
It
just
really
couldn't even
is.
imagine
But
that.
seriously though, this family meeting is the thing that would help Calvin be a better person. And that's what I mean when I say some secrets are made to be kept, but when it can help somebody, and we see that some of the unanswered questions and some of the reasons why things came out at that family meeting.
Yeah, I don't like
So he's not, he needed those answers. And the therapy in this particular case, the therapy wasn't gonna help him without having the answers that he got at the family. Right?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
don't like it.
Right.
I agree.
He didn't.
I mean, I just don't like it.
have
I
the
mean, it was
foundation
just, I
with
just
the
didn't
proper
like it.
foundation.
Mel-
I mean,
with
he
his
was
mother.
a jerk at the beginning. I mean, he wasn't. Nobody think he was a jerk. No one think I'm crazy, right? Nobody think he
was. It was.
Mel's having flashbacks.
Right.
Yeah, right.
But Mel,
Flashbacks.
part,
He's a jerk.
right. Mel, part of him being a jerk was that Calvin was very insecure. He was very insecure.
Dang. But Jamel was like, she liked him from the gate. Really? I'm like, really?
I had to get into the book. I'm like, he might be, this is
But
something
remember,
interesting.
it was a physical attraction from the beginning. She didn't really know him. It was a
Right.
physical attraction.
That's right.
Remember, he like real cut up and he's 6'5". So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he can be 4'11" real fast with that attitude. He was bad. His attitude was bad. I was like, nope. I was like, nope, next. Right? Nope.
Well, it's
no.
funny.
No.
I told
But
you she
okay.
had a,
But
she had
okay, people like Calvin. Okay.
She had a
I like
Calvin
the
didn't have a chance
ex-boyfriend.
with you.
Mel, who is it? Who is it?
Who is
Yeah.
Mel? Who is it? What's his name?
I don't know nobody like Calvin because he would have been next. I'm like out of here. There's no way. I couldn't do
So
it.
I have a
He worked
question
my
for
nerve.
Miss Pat, only because someone in the Facebook chat said our grandparents handle things, family secrets that way. So Miss Pat, you're our
Senior expert.
senior expert. So in your opinion, do you think that, I mean, take us back to possible family secrets, how back in the day somebody would have handled this? Because I think that family secrets control a lot of what goes on, not individuals who I was with, but family secrets where it's not just one person involved, just the family skeletons where somebody is somebody else's daddy and you thought it was your cousin and so forth and so on. How did people handle that?
They either they didn't talk about it,
Right.
or they had some cover-up lie. And I mean, I have been to family reunions because I'm also a genealogist. I've been doing that for like 10 years. But if at a family reunion, we know that Pee-wee is Uncle John's son. But because Uncle John never had any children with his wife, we just don't say.
Talk about it.
Can't say nothing. Right.
So once upon a time, I was dumb enough to try to make a family book, with all the.
Yeah, that's gonna go bad.
This was in the 1990s, and I'm gonna write down all the family history and everybody who I knew that I could put together information, and they cussed me out.
Wow.
Who told you to say this? We don't talk about that. Why you want to say I'm that age? I don't really know how old I am. I mean, it's on and on. It's like, that is the truth. I mean, even down to they won't tell you the truth about what people died from. Cancer was like HIV to them.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody died from cancer, I would hear them talking on the phone saying, yeah, she had cancer, but we got the doctor to change the death certificate, and we put on there, she had a liver problem. Now, why are you gonna tell a lie? So now, the rest of us over time don't know our medical history because of the lies.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that it was a lot of falsehoods back then, and the documentation was never verified. You could say anything. When children went to school, that's the first recorded date of their birthday. And half the time, the mamas didn't know what the birth date was because midwives came to the house.
Yeah.
They don't remember. They said somewhere around April 20th, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that's what they put on the record. And that's where, that's how they recorded, your birthday.
Yeah.
Well,
I keep y'all all night, so that's a whole different subject.
No, I have to agree with Miss Pat because, yeah, I've heard of relatives saying that they don't know, especially ones that are like 80 and older.
They know.
Yeah, the midwife thing, they don't know exactly what their birthday is. I even have a relative that jokingly told me that, like, I don't know. He was like, I don't know when I was born. I'm here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So very different perspectives. I appreciate it. And wow, I totally heard a lot of point of views that I was not expecting to hear. Let's see what our Facebook chat is saying. Stephanie L. Harris said they let it just come out and dealt with it then. Latoya Younger, definitely a lot of lying going on in these families. So yeah, very interesting turn of events, Marlee Ray. I just want to say that.
Okay. So this is what I want to ask.
Go ahead, Mel.
I want to ask Calvin. So you all contribute all Calvin's behavior to his mother?
No,
we're back to Calvin again.
I'm not
Alex,
no,
come back. We need you.
No,
Need a psychologist.
Right. We need Alex on here. But Mel, you have to remember that Calvin had a couple of issues. The first issue was that Calvin he didn't get the affection he needed from his mother. That was the first thing. But the second part of it is that Calvin was kind of taken out of a regular childhood because he went away.
Because he was an actor. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a normal childhood, and he also didn't have the affection he needed. So he just kind of, and as a child star, you're famous or whatever, you're always told that you're great. So that's what he decided that he was going to be as an adult, was great. Yeah. But of course, as an adult, he's not as popular as he was when he was a child. So that was an issue that he had to deal with too. Remember when the book first opened, he was at the restaurant and he's like, "Oh, I'm watching them watching me because everybody watches me, and I got to get the people what they want. So yeah, I'm overdressed for this place, but that's what's expected of me because I'm Calvin and I'm great, and everybody knows who I am." Mm-hmm. But he didn't really feel that way about himself. It was just kind of a persona. But Janae was the person that was able to chip away at it.
Mm-hmm.
So do you all think that's healthy for a woman to like want to chip away at some guy who's not whole? I just hated Calvin. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
But she was.
I mean, I just don't understand why I got to be chipping away at some grown ass man. I mean, I'm gonna need you to come here. All right. I mean, what the hell?
But is anybody all right?
Right.
I mean, there's levels. I mean, okay, I agree with that. And I will say at the end, Calvin did seem to grow. I will say that.
Well, thank you.
I will say that at the end, that Calvin did seem to
the family meeting
relaxed.
helped.
Right. And
family meeting helped.
He was in therapy the whole time.
But do you all think that's healthy for, because it can give the impression that a woman can be dealing with some damaged guy, and if she just keeps chipping away at him, that he's going to be okay.
They are damaged. What you talking about?
I mean, really, and half the women are damaged.
No. Really, y'all didn't think his damage was like over the top?
Well, everybody has different levels of damage. We all have damage.
I'm gonna say, I give it up to Janae. That was his perfect match.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't
work with that program.
Can you imagine he and Tori, the Calvin and Tori? I mean,
not Calvin and anybody else.
No.
No, right.
What were you gonna say, Glow Joe?
I think it's the thing of you pick and choose, say, your battles or your issues of what you're willing to deal with.
Okay.
And while you were saying that, maybe Janae was his perfect match, I think maybe what bothered, per se, you may not have bothered her that much and she could deal with it.
Yeah. Right. Right. I agree with that.
Yeah,
But
everybody has their deal breakers.
I just don't want a woman to walk around here thinking she be chipping away at some bad guy who just damaged. I mean, some people just damaged, and you just can't do nothing with it. It's just like
That
you be
doesn't
chipping
mean
away.
that they're not
chipping away.
entitled to be loved.
Agreed.
Okay,
Everybody
yeah, but
needs
they're gonna
love.
have to work that out. They're gonna have to work that out. You got, I mean, I just don't understand. But okay,
You
I'm
know,
okay.
I will jump in and say,
Oh, wait a minute. Alex is jumping in. Hold on a second.
Go ahead,
Alex,
Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Alex,
This
come
is
on in,
Alex's book.
Alex.
you know we need him.
Look, Alex that came off of Facebook, y'all. Alex like, I gotta get in on this.
This is Alex's book.
We need Alex. Melody needs Alex.
I don't need
Yes,
Alex because I'm
yes.
not going to no. I'm not going to no on no like psycho trip because
Look,
Hey, Alex, Melody needs
I
you.
just couldn't deal with that. I just couldn't deal with Calvin. I just couldn't do it.
Alex.
I
Okay,
will
go
agree
ahead,
with-
Alex.
I will agree with Gloria that it depends on the
okay,
person.
go ahead, Alex. Take the mic.
Hello.
Hello,
Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
So I'm in my car leaving work, but I just had to jump on because I heard my name being yelled at. So I was like, I guess I'll try and call. So the thing with Calvin, like, and I heard Marlee Ray kind of go through the 3 points of his mother was not very nurturing. He had a very different childhood growing up, and that Janae was someone who was able to kind of chip away his persona. So I agree completely with that, except the part of Janae chipping away at it. So how I see it is he realized that he didn't have to pretend to be somebody around her.
Yeah,
She kind of
that's right.
call him on his, she would call him out on his BS and say, hey, you know what, like, I'm the one who's in charge of communication,
She did.
so let's have this communication.
Yeah.
If we don't have this communication, we're not moving forward.
Yeah.
So the fact that he, was willing to step up to the plate and say, hey, fine, I understand this is what the situation is. Yes, I have all these skeletons under the rug, but let's have the conversation about it and let me be honest about it. Because up until this point, he had never had someone who kind of called him out on it. And her and the whole lovely family interaction that they had when basically all the secrets came to light. She wasn't there to, I don't think I saw her presence as being the only person in his life that has shown affection and nurturing care towards him. And that's why he had her there. Because in theory, if he's going to have this conversation with family, she didn't really need to be there. But given the fact that of his background with his interaction with his mother and how she really didn't act like she loved him towards him, even though she loved him dearly, Janae was not only just there for moral support, but she was there to represent what love to him actually meant and represented.
good point.
Good points, Alex.
Point,
The
Alex.
professor has spoken.
Right.
Yes, our psychologist has spoken now.
Our psychologist has spoken. We're gonna drop the mic on that subject. Thank you
Drop the
so
mic.
much, Alex.
y'all can drop it all you want, right? Ain't nobody. I like. Okay, what was her ex-boyfriend name? What was his name? Brian.
Brian.
I like him.
Okay, so speak of that. Hold up.
Okay.
We have to go into Brian.
I go.
Hold up. I want to go into Brian. So this question is inspired by Miss Pat. Will Brian ever leave Janae and Calvin alone, or will they need to get a restraining order? Miss Pat, I'm gonna let you take that.
They gonna leave Brian alone. Brian gonna leave them alone.
All
Brian
right,
gonna find
Pat.
somebody else.
Miss Pat, that's your question.
Yes, my question, but it's not like I really had a real good answer for it. I just didn't like the idea that you couldn't get rid of him. He was like chewing gum under their shoe. Every time they turned around, there he was. And then he was manipulating people to find out things. So he's the kind of person that you got to put the law on him because he does not know how to stop. And so I think Calvin is time enough for him. So once they got married and, you know, getting ready to have a baby or whatever they were doing, he had to back up eventually. He had to hit, the truth had to hit him at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or the
I
police
agree.
would be hitting him next.
Go ahead, Alex.
So I want to say, like, I don't think, because we don't really know enough about
Brian,
our lovely
yeah.
Brian to
Right.
base really like what we think will happen. I just have a feeling because, I mean, strictly looking at like his education background, he is going to have to eventually realize that he has no cards in that deck anymore. Like, she's already said, I don't want you in my house, even though he's now shown up, you know, he's shown up uninvited completely. I have a feeling that, like, given what we find out in the epilogue, I think he's just kind of just going to grow a pair and move on because, you know, there are no cards for him at that point. So, and I think what really made the difference for his relationship with Janae was she kept going back to him because it was comfortable. And that's what he was used to. Now that she has a steady man in her life, and then, you know, fast forward to the epilogue, we find out what happens. It's something that's new to him completely. So if you look at it, it's like Calvin and Brian are basically two sides of the same coin, because they're both being put into a situation that is not, that's new to them. Brian now cannot just show up to Janae's house whenever he wants to, and Calvin is being forced to basically deal with his emotions and his history and move forward from it. Whereas, so for both of them, this is a point to move forward and not to move back from.
Yeah, and he just interrupted his norm. He has to get to the point, because you said something key, Alex, that he was accustomed to just getting with her whenever. And because when they didn't have anyone else, it becomes the norm. And we know how we all are when our norm, look at what we're dealing with now. When our norm is interrupted, it takes a minute. And a minute, how long is a minute? I don't know. But it takes a minute to adjust to a different norm. And then when you have matters of the heart, it might have just been comfortable, but apparently we see his heart was involved also. And it's hard to just break the norm. We buck on change. And that's what he's going to have to do. And it's going to take time. But I don't think he's the kind that you need the law on. He just needs time.
Well, I just think that Brian better be glad he was dealing with Calvin, because I know some other men.
I agree with that.
Yes,
I agree with that.
You stepping over, you need your boy.
But Calvin was, but Brian was just going after what he wanted, you know, or what he thought he wanted.
Or what he thought he had.
What he thought he had, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he never listened to the signals. He just ignored anything that just didn't need.
Why would Brian ignore any signals? It's like, man, he's Brian. Why would he ignore any signals? I like a man like that. Look, baby, come get what you want.
Only male.
I like a man like that. Come get what you want, baby. Oh, I didn't make no signals. Signals are for wusses.
Do you want someone just showing up at your house uninvited?
Hey, he had to do it. And it was up to her to turn him down. I think Janae was kind of complicit too.
I do too.
I don't think she wasn't like a hard no. It wasn't hard.
Right. She may have liked that extra attention. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. I don't know why, but she didn't give him a hard no either. So if you don't give someone like Brian a hard no, that's what you're gonna get.
True.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I know we get used to that comfort zone, and we'll keep hanging around the person that is around until we find someone new, and that's a whole nother topic.
She also really cared about Brian. So I think some of it too was she just didn't want to hurt his feelings because they had been in a relationship for a long time.
Yeah, they had been. Yeah.
Like, families knew each other, and it was like, I just don't really want to hurt his feelings. So she was being nice because she's a nice person.
Can't be nice to everybody.
Girl. She a nice girl.
Yeah. Alex, you be careful. You making me nervous. But Marlee, Marlee, do you have any closing thoughts with regards to the takeaway of this book? And my prediction is, since the book has ended, I don't think they've seen the last of Brian. But that's just me.
Ready to say, Marlee Ray, Brian story. Brian needs a story.
And Brian is my man, so I do need a Brian
story.
Leave him out. Leave him out.
Let him die.
Let him die. Who said let him die?
Joe, I love Brian. I love Brian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
Brian, I don't know if Brian getting the story. I don't know. But
yeah, don't do that.
I don't know if Brian getting the story. If I had to pick somebody out of the series who would get their own stories out of the men, it would definitely be Drake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Drake. Yeah.
Oh God, not Drake. But Drake would be a good story.
Yeah, he was more prominent in the series than Brian was. So if anybody got their own story or a spin-off,
it would be Drake. You're right. Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the takeaway from this story is that relationships are difficult. I only had a half a glass of wine. Relationships are difficult.
The whole bottle.
I only had a half a glass of wine. Relationships are difficult.
Half a glass.
And I think if you want to make it work, and both parties are willing to put the work in, and I think Calvin did put the work in. He was willing to go to counseling. Most guys are not willing to go to counseling.
That's true.
I mean, so I think they both put the work in, and it worked out for them. But I just don't want women to walk away from this thinking they could be chipping away at some bad guy. Yeah, because women want to fix stuff. We feel sorry for you, and a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of things that go into it. And they're like, don't worry about it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go to our Facebook. Miss Pat, go right ahead.
Yes, well, you know what? I want to give a shout out to one of my friends who was on Facebook. I don't know if she showed up in your feed, but it's Pat Harrell. Okay. And she sent me a text message and she said, "Sangria, nice drink for the book club review. Is Calvin really a jerk? Senior expert," she's calling me senior expert. "Family secret skeletons are not discussed or covered up. Yes. Family reunion, we just accept our fallacies and don't talk about it. Nice meeting. The invite."
Oh, that was nice.
Tell her thank you.
And I do apologize. I don't see her in the immediate feed. Maybe I think sometimes you have to click on the main page. So it has two different feeds sometimes. So
okay.
Tell her thank you. I'm glad you were able. Yeah, I'm glad you were able to.
She's also an author.
Oh wow.
Poetry mostly. Yeah.
Oh, look, Alex, I know another poet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so just to make sure we reach out to our other Facebook teamers, we have here, let me scroll down. JS, she said, no, you can call from up the street, but not the driveway. I think that maybe it was something that said ahead of that, but anyway, I'm going to carry on. Stephanie L. Harris, Brian and Dre need to go to book heaven.
Okay.
Brian needs to go to book heaven? I don't think so.
We have JS.
Dre can go to book grave.
JS says no, Brian doesn't deserve a book. Stephanie Gordon Thurman said Team Dre for a book. I'm with her on that. I want Dre to have a book. And Kendra Jenkins said Brian, boy, bye. And so everybody is picking their sides. So this is a bittersweet moment because we've come to the end of our Something About Love series. But do not fret. We will have Marlee Ray back, guaranteed. Unless she disowns us. We will have her back. But Marlee Ray, I'm going to give you the mic for your closing remarks, and then I'm going to make some announcements and introductions, and we're going to call it an evening.
Okay. All right. Well, I really want to say thank you. I have really enjoyed going through these books. And I really hope that, you know, my whole goal behind writing the books, after I kind of got into it, I kind of told you guys why I started writing. But once I got into the series, it was really more about me wanting to just kind of explain what love looked like when you're middle-aged and when you're in your 40s. Because, you know, as I said before, it's a lot different from when you're younger. So I hope I was able to just kind of touch on a lot of different things that you go through with love and dating and having children, being divorced, being married, and all that kind of stuff, and just what it looks like. Because sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes we have problems. Sometimes it's just a lot going on. So I hope I was able to do it justice and to just properly show, in my opinion, what Black love looks like, when you're in your 40s.
Yeah.
So I do.
And you did it in such an
job.
entertaining way. Entertaining way. It was awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah.
A lot of books.
But thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. I definitely look forward to, definitely, more book clubs and, on the next series and all of that. So I look forward to that as well.
And you are a permanent WDR member.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Look, we didn't do our toast, so now is the perfect time. I'm glad I missed it in the beginning. Let's toast. Whoever, Mel, if you have any left.
I know, right?
I don't know why you all think I've been drinking. I hate Calvin, so now I'm drunk. I hate Calvin, so now Marlee Ray. Thank you.
Marlee Ray.
I like glass,
Marlee
Keisha.
Ray.
Thank you.
I like your glass, Keisha. Nice.
Thank you so much.
I like that.
Yeah. Let me know if you guys can hear me, because it's saying I'm having some audio issues.
We can hear you.
Okay, now you're going. There you go.
There we go. We're back on. I want to say that I have enjoyed this, and again, I've appreciated you allowing to come on our platform. You being agreeing to come on our platform and discuss your books. I've loved this journey. We first had Joy Happen, and we went on a ride with that. And now there's Something About Love series. We went on a ride with that. And so I just appreciate you. And one thing I love about your writing is that you're so detailed in a relatable way. Let me just say that. And I'm glad you use, the subject of Black love and women over 40 to make it so, I don't know. To me, I feel like these books are trendy. There was trending. They're talking about the topics that we're dealing with now, and I think even going in the future, the stuff that we have to deal with as women over the traditional age in relationships. So, bravo to you. Thank you for taking the various issues that we don't think about that do exist, such as mental health. People having issues with commitment. You touched a lot of subjects, so I just say bravo to you and thank you so much. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And before we go, I want to say we have the speaker of our next book. We're going to have our next virtual book review on August 16th, and we will be reviewing Glory Bishop. And we have, look at us, we're just so blessed. We have the author of Glory Bishop with us, Ms. Deborah King. Deborah, do you want to give us
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Deborah, want to give us a brief, not giving away too much, but just a brief intro of what we're going to be right on our next journey with Glory Bishop, what to expect, and what we should, how should we adjust our antennas before we take our ride. So I'm gonna let you take it away.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm also terrified. This is my first book, and Marlee Ray is a really hard act to follow, so I'm terrified. But Gloria Bishop is a coming of age story. It starts when Gloria is 16, and she's madly in love with this young man who has tricked her into marrying him when they were 5. Long story, but she beat him up for it, so it was okay. And he goes off to the Navy, and while he's gone and she's waiting to hear from him, the pastor's son takes an interest in her, and this pastor's son is 10 years older than her. And her mother firmly believes that the only thing that will save somebody is a godly man. So her mother is 100% behind this relationship. Glory doesn't necessarily want the relationship, but she eventually finds herself in a relationship with somebody 10 years older than her. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to give away too much. It's set in Chicago in the 80s.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Sounds good.
And that's about
I'm
it.
excited.
You have a picture of your book? No?
We do. And you know, she's, there we go. Thank you so much.
This is the problem with this picture, though, is this is the original cover. The publisher decided that this cover didn't necessarily do the story justice. And so they changed it to a picture of a bird in a cage with a lock on it.
Oh, wow.
Which is this story, this cover doesn't quite tell you about the story.
Okay.
And as much as I absolutely love the original cover, but I kind of agree with the publisher, and well, the publisher sells books, so I go with
right.
But what did you have in mind when you had the face blowing back like that?
My original idea was something similar to the bird in the cage, but the publisher's original designer came up with this cover.
Okay.
I thought it looked a little too sci-fi, a little too high tech, but I love the purple. And when I had my launch party, I have an outfit that matches that book cover. All of my marketing materials are purple. Everything in my world is purple, except for now the book is blue. So I've got to start all over again.
Nothing's wrong with blue. But I will say, well, we look forward to taking the ride with you, Deborah King, and thank you for joining us tonight. I want everyone in Facebook, our Facebook viewers, and also, and I already know our panelists has done this, please go and give reviews for all of the Something About Love series. Please go give reviews. We have to, do the bullhorn about Marlee Ray and her books. So let's do our part. So make sure everyone goes and write reviews. Anyone else have anything to say before we transition out? I'm gonna give you guys to say your final thoughts, a few of you just to say your final thoughts about this Something About Love series.
Who wants to go first? Great job, Marlee Ray.
Thank you.
I just admire your writing from day one. So, and even though I'm not in the 40-something club,
you look like it though. You
right.
Thank you. I feel like I feel like I'm in the 40-something club. But the Black Love is just like amazing. And again, cheers to you. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Marlee, for making all those beautiful men.
Weren't they beautiful? Weren't they beautiful?
Some of which I have never seen.
Weren't they beautiful?
Because it made the reading easy.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Good looking men.
They were beautiful.
Except Calvin.
Calvin was cute, but he's just crazy.
Can you bring him to life, please? Bring him to
Yeah.
Three.
Yeah.
All three in one person.
I want to thank you, Marlee, because it was so relatable. Each one of those series, it's like the reason why I probably hate Calvin is because I could see me meeting somebody like Calvin, like really, right? And you make it so relatable that you can actually put yourself in one of the characters. And that's why your series or your writing is so spectacular. It's because it's so relatable.
Oh, thanks, Mel.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
It was great job.
Yes, thank you for writing such a great series that I am now putting in use myself as I start a new relationship. So it gives me new things to think about and look
right.
Go Glow
person. And I honestly couldn't put your books down. Like Keisha knows.
Right.
I would come into work like I'm done.
Right.
Like the page kept going. I was like, I couldn't stop because
you couldn't even give me
I always wanted to find out what was going on next. I had to like see it all the way through to see these girls and see what happened.
Yeah.
You did an awesome job. You made it very relatable, and you did open it up. For I'm not in the 40 club. I'm knocking on the door, but I'm not there yet. But you did open our eyes to make us think, look, and see Black love in a different way.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Deborah, I felt the same way. I read my book. Marlee Ray knows I read my book like within 36 hours. I was done. Done. Yeah. Yeah. Because it makes you binge read. That's how awesome it is.
We will be reviewing the next book, but that date will come. We're not going to let Marlee Ray go. We're just going to let her pause for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I've read that one too.
Okay.
You read that one too, Barbara?
Yes.
Gloria has too. Gloria has too.
Oh, wow.
Wait till y'all read that book.
So, Barbara, you read all 4 too?
Yes.
Okay.
I really enjoyed her books, and I was gonna ask her, are we gonna address that other book that I started reading of yours?
Talking about Slick
in the next series. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I think Keisha said Slick is gonna be discussed later in the year. We're gonna get Slick. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll read Slick.
Gloria. tell a little bit about both Glorias actually, but Glow right there from Atlanta called me and said, Keisha, have you started Slick? And I said no. She said, girl, it's popping from the first page.
From the beginning it was popping. Yep.
Like, so you gonna really call me and tell me you started the book when you know that's against my rules? But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why my computer keeps jumping back to mute. And
okay.
I want to thank you all for joining the panel this evening. And this has been, I look forward to these. Last week we had to cancel unexpectedly, and I do apologize to you in the Facebook group as well as the panel. It was unexpected. Hopefully that will never happen again. And so we're back on track every 2 weeks, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You guys can join along. And I want to just shout out some of the people in the Facebook. Listen to me. Look, I'm talking about male drinking. Mine is starting to kick in. Look, my H2O. Let's see who we have here. We have Sharon Edwards has just peeped in. Hi, Sharon. Wanda, who is one of our panelists, she couldn't join us tonight, but she wanted to say thanks for the awesome stories and characters. And then Deborah Davis says slick ... me too. So everybody's cheating. That's good to know. And so we will be back next Sunday, August 16th. and we are gonna hop on the Glory Bishop call. We're gonna change vans. We're gonna park our Marlee Ray van, and we get ready to hop into our Deborah King van, and let's see where it takes us. All right.
Okay. Wait a minute. Can we get Deborah King's book on Amazon?
Yes. If you looking, I'm gonna post it now, but I posted it in the chat. And then Mel, you guys, I will email the panelists all the information on how to get the book. But for our Facebook people, I'm getting ready to post it again. Hold up, I think I post her contact information. Let me post her book information here. 1 second. And but yes, to answer your question, ultimately, yes, you can get the book on Amazon if that's where you prefer to get your copy of the book. And so here it is. I'm getting ready to post it now. And so yeah, so everybody, thanks again for hanging out with us. And Marlee Ray, you're a permanent WDR member.
Yes.
So I expect your attendance to continue.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I already read Glory Bishop, so I'm already ahead.
Oh my God! How you read it?
Because I know Deborah. I was at her book signing in Chicago. So
okay, excuse me. Okay, all righty. So I'll read it.
History. Okay.
West Coasters. Well, no, Midwest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, guys, thanks again for participating. And each one of you on the panel, I have something for you. So if you're like me and only check your mail like once a week, I'm gonna ask you to, give me about 3 or 4 days and then check your mail. I'm gonna have something for you. So yeah.
All right, excited. Bye-bye.
Stay blessed.
Bye-bye.
Everybody. All righty.
Bye.
I thought Barbara had something. Okay, I thought she was saying, you guys have a good evening.
Stay safe.
All right, you too. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Wear your mask.
Wear your
Thank you.
mask.
Wear your mask, everybody. Exactly. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good one.